Is going on, everyone's. We are here and we are back with another episode of
Is My Point Valid?
Live Edition. Yes, indeed. I am yours truly, Brandon D.
And I am Camille A. Stocker.
And the topic for today is going to be...
The world is losing its mind. Trump for and Crash Out Queens exposed.
So it's a lot going on these days, boy. As we all know, Donald Trump dropped some bombs on them. And in a lot of people's minds, or some people's minds, it was seen as unconstitutional.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
It's seen as he betrayed us. He got us into war. And I don't know where they getting this from. Jumping into a conflict and trying to level the playing field is not a direct act of war, I don't believe.
You have to go through Congress. Congress has to say approve war. So President Trump did not have to he didn't announce that we were going to go into war. We're not in a war. There is no war. There is not a war that the United States of America is in. Are there wars in other countries? Yes, there are. But that's not what this was. And people are throwing a fit. He can do this. He did do it. There have been, and I'm going to be like everybody else, there have been presidents who have done it before. Absolutely. There have been presidents who have done way worse than what President Trump has done.
It seems to be a problem when Donald Trump does it. But we're going to hear a word from Donald Trump. After, I believe it was the day after, he did a speech coming out of, I don't know where he was coming out of, but he was walking real lazy and he was pretty upset. So we're going to watch that video. Oh, Kimo Sabe. Not that one. Back it on up.
I don't think so, but I'm not happy that Israel's going out now. There was one rocket that I guess was fired overboard. It was after the time limit, and it missed its target. And now Israel's going out. These guys got to calm down. Ridiculous. I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload. And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either. All I do is play both sides. I'm going now, as you know, to NATO. Some of you are going with me, and I think it's going to be successful. We'll see. I'll let you know.
Are you going to see the agreement? It's a new dawn in the Middle East, thanks to the agreement you managed to achieve. What are your future plans for the region, for Saudi Arabia, Israel, Gaza, the hostages?
Look, you're asking me about women in the Middle East. It's getting a lot better. Things are happening at a high level. As you know, Saudi Arabia's done a really good job. It's coming out far faster than I thought. So we're very happy about what's happening with women in the Middle East.
No, I'm talking about a new dawn in the Middle East that you managed to achieve last night.
Yeah.
The region is going to a new place with this agreement. Can you tell us what's your future plans for Gaza, for the hostages?
Yeah. It's a new dawn. I appreciate the question. You're very nice. Who are you?
Thank you. I'm Naria Kraus from Israeli Channel 13 News.
Well, we have to have Israel calm down because they went on a mission this morning. I got to get Israel to calm down now.
Did you get to speak with the Prime Minister? Did you talk to Prime Minister Netanyahu last night?
I speak to everybody.
You urge both sides not to violate the ceasefire, but reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it. I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
Have you spoken to him this morning? How confident are you that Iran's capabilities have been completely demolished?
I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And, you know, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean.
And what I find crazy is you have a bunch of people who are talking about they shedded a tear for the Iranians who lost their lives in the bombing. Like I know Jasmine Crockett is one of the people who said it. I'm gonna play that video a little later on. But yeah, these people are like sympathetic to terrorists. I don't understand why, but hey, that's how they feel.
But they're sympathetic because they're trying to play this God wouldn't want anybody to be killed thing, right? And this, we have to be kind to everybody. We should be kind to people, but when you know that somebody is actively trying to destroy a people, like a group, not forget for a group of people.
Like we talk down on other leaders who do the same thing, but we're praising this. I don't even think they're only doing my thought is they're only doing it because it's Trump in this position. It's not because they truly agree with what's going on over there, we don't know what's going on. We only can speculate and we see what we see on the internet, on TV or whatever. But there have been people who said how bad it is over there. You can watch videos of how terrible. I don't understand how you can defend that. If someone comes, it's like if someone breaks into your house, you gonna show them to your refrigerator? Or you gonna try to knock them off?
And it seems as though Trump is trying to have peace with, like, create this peace, right? Because the UN isn't really doing that. So it looks like he's trying to carry this burden of the whole world. Let's make sure, right? Let's make sure that everybody, no war, no none of this. So I know you can look at it. Some people will look at it. Oh, he's catering to Israel. He's being mean to Iran. And
let's be real. He didn't drop bombs on Iranian civilians. He dropped bombs on known nuclear sites where they're doing the research to get the weapons to be able to take out anybody they want to. And they're already taking people out without nuclear weapons. So just imagine how dangerous they would be if they get a hold of the technology to nuke whoever they feel is against them, which is pretty much everybody.
And it's not that people are against them because of who they are. It's what they believe in that people are against it, right? They believe in killing people. Yeah. Unaliving. Can you say unaliving?
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Unaliving.
I don't know.
They don't believe in letting people make it.
Right.
Your rights ain't your rights. There was a woman who did a video and she was saying women over there, it's like, y'all almost bottom of the barrel, nothing. Y'all can't speak. Y'all can't. She was saying something about divorce. If you want to divorce your husband, he takes the child, no questions asked. You got to move around. Man, say, them people over there, you don't want what they got. But we're going to see what Donald Trump got to continue to say.
We'll never rebuild its nuclear. From there? Absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon. and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers.
Real losers.
You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Israel says that Iran violated the peace agreement, the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically.
They cut
Basically.
out. Yeah. But y'all get the gist of it. My man's is not happy. What you got?
I don't know. I mean, I think everybody's seen the clip. I'm pretty sure everybody has shown it. CNN, MS. What did he say? MSNBC.
He kept saying it wrong too.
MSNBC. Look, I ain't gonna hold him to it.
Yeah.
He know what he's talking about because he knew who owned it. But I think everybody's seen the clip, and whether you agree with it or not, whether you agree with President Trump, that is our president, and we don't know the pressure of being a president. We don't know, we don't know the pressure that Joe Biden was under. We don't know the pressure that Barack Obama was under. We don't know. These men in these positions felt that they were doing what they had to do. And so in this case, while we are under Trump, while Trump is our leader, we must pray to God that this man is covered and that that God is making sure that the United States of America is safe, because we see that although we might not agree, right, he's doing the best that he can
with what he
has, with everything flying at him, people being ugly to him. Like, he's trying to run a country, and you have people in Congress, people around, people that work for us, because he works for us too, but people that work for us going against, to me, what it looks like going against America. I'm not feeling that.
How can you say you love America if you're directly going against a leader? Now, there's a difference between questioning the leader,
being critical of something that he like.
We ain't supposed to just blindly follow anybody.
Right.
But at the same time, you ain't supposed to be out there just down talking and praising every other country, but this one solely based on him being the president. Because I'm telling you, y'all wouldn't be feeling this way if Joe Biden was doing these things, if Barack Obama was doing these things, because in reality, they were. They were doing the same things. And you can look back in history and see that these people all these presidents would do the same things. You just don't like it because it's Donald Trump. And now he's putting it, they did it in the quiet. He gonna do something in the quiet because he don't need y'all to know nothing. And then he gonna tell you afterwards.
Because that's what we're not supposed to know. I watched a clip.
Why? Oh, go ahead.
I watched a clip of a military person, a woman, and she said, you know what sucks is that y'all keep talking about we. And she said, it's no we. I'm in the military. If anybody's called to go to war, it's going to be me, not you. You'll still be at home safe. And I was like, that is so real, because everybody keeps talking about we going to war. We going to war. Like, whoa. And she also said, if I don't know anything, what makes you think that regular civilians know something? The president is keeping whatever is happening within.
It ain't our business.
Like, y'all,
these kind of operations have always been top secret.
Like, what are we doing? We are not supposed, because then, and I feel like if you knew every move, then somebody gonna go snitch. Well, you don't. If you know every move, they're watching.
You gonna go tell the person, oh, they about to bomb you.
Yeah. Let's be.
And you know who look like somebody that'll do that? Jasmine Crockett.
Let's be honest. What type of corruption? Like, that's corrupt. That's really corrupt.
So we're gonna listen to what old Miss Jasmine Crockett has to say on the situation. Because for some reason, she feels entitled to be notified of everything that happens that the president does. And she feels some type of way when he doesn't. So let's listen to her go on about
shed a tear.
What's she going on about?
And
hold up. Here we go right here.
I literally shed a tear or two. And so long story short, for those of you that are unaware, the mofo that resides in the White House has unilaterally, in my estimation, declared war. We have a constitution that seemingly does not matter to this man or the people that are supposed to be advising him. I will say that I want to give a shout out to a Republican, Thomas Massey, who made it clear that he wanted to reiterate that the power as relates to war declaration, the power that we derive from the Constitution, it resides with Congress. And the House is out. Hell, the Senate is out. It is a Saturday right now. So no one's in. We ain't been called in. And let me just explain briefly why I am so heartbroken. It's because I don't think a number of nations should have nuclear weapons. Like, let's just kind of level set on that. But at the same time, I wouldn't want anybody randomly just kind of coming at our throats and being like, yo, like, y'all got nukes, so we just gonna, like, no.
We're not terrorists. We haven't been known to be terrorists. And I heard, what's his name? Louis Farrakhan, I think it's light-skinned dude, Nation of Islam, that's Farrakhan. He was saying that you can't find nowhere in history where Iran has started a conflict. Or they've only been on the receiving end of everything that they've done. I don't know that to be true, because they're known.
Yeah, it's Nation of Islam.
Exactly.
So
he gonna speak up, and he was at the same time he was talking down on Trump. So that makes sense. But back to Jasmine Crockett and her foolishness.
No. That is not how you deal with things. And there is a such thing as diplomacy. And we are living in...
They're going to keep using this word. They're going to put this word in the mud too, like democracy. Diplomacy. There is a thing of diplomacy. Okay.
this time in which there is someone who is occupying the White House who does not care about any rules, any norms, any laws, nor the Constitution, and we cannot be a civilized country if there is no law and order. So I know they may claim we law and order, blah, blah, blah. So go get the undocumented people and let's try to ship them out. Let me tell you something. They are not the people that are putting us in harm's way. It is him and his administration that is putting us in harm's way. I am telling you right now that I legitimately have had no intel whatsoever. Zero intel as a sitting member of Congress, regardless of how you feel about me, regardless of my party affiliation. No one has consulted specifically with me or anybody in my office to give us any information. And so the idea that this dude sitting in the White House, because it didn't come from Congress, so the only person that it could have come from would be him. So this is me making assumptions, and he's talking about he gonna jump on and talk about it after the fact or whatever. We are putting our loved ones as well as those in this country in harm's way, and I legitimately have no understanding of why or how. And so I just want you, if you're following my page, chances are you're probably not MAGA. But I need you to talk to anybody that supports this dude and his agenda or whatever. And
What is she talking about? This woman is crazy.
This is a big ramble. If you support this, he's not nobody MAGA. You might not know. Somebody might like you. Like you. What are you?
No.
I'm being. But here's. Do we have to continue to watch more? Should
No,
he say something else? Okay, but Jasmine Crockett thinks very highly of herself. That's a lot of pride. She feels as though she needs to be into everything.
On Front Street.
She is not in the right.
Ever.
She is a part of Congress. She is a part of that. But Trump did not go to war. So there is a part of that where she is saying, not a part of it, a lot of it is propaganda, and you're gaslighting people into believing that we are going to war, and that is not the case. Right now, we're probably the safest, so that is propaganda. That is fear mongering. You are putting fear into people who truly believe in you. That's what I'm saying. Some people do like her, and the ones who do, she is putting fear. Oh my goodness, the president didn't get with her. Right. So that is not how it's frustrating because I used to be like this anxious kid that would watch something because of something, just because of
someone you trusted,
the foolishness that you saw on TV. Well, we're going to go to war and this, and we're not going to be safe and all these things. But like, that is untrue. And I say it's untrue until President Trump or Caroline comes out and somebody says, "Hey, we are officially at war." Then, but if nobody has said it, and these people are talking about the Constitution, here's my thought on that. How many people do you know that are reading the Constitution to know what the Constitution says? There's not a lot.
I don't think these politicians are reading this Constitution.
That part.
Because they're saying things that don't make sense. Jasmine Crockett is saying that this man can't declare war because he hadn't notified her in Congress. We just said it's not war. And then he doesn't have to notify you of anything. Who is Jasmine Crockett?
This is very interesting. So when we talk about the Constitution, we are trusting these people to be truthful, but they are lying And that's, you know, I also say this is why they don't teach the Constitution in school. This is why they don't share these things, because if you teach it, then somebody will question, that's not what that said. That's not what that is.
I'm going to tell you this. Politicians in the Constitution is like fake pastors in the Bible.
Ah, that's good.
They teach whatever they need or want to teach that's beneficial to them at whatever time it is. Whether the incentive is money, influence, or whatever. That's what these people operate on. You can't. These are the same people who are saying things like you're oppressed and you can't do this or you can't do that, and they are in high positions,
right,
doing big things,
right,
at the table,
right,
in the building, and you can't do it because of some boogeyman. But back to this Constitution, these people are not reading this document. I can honestly say I haven't even read the whole thing. And are they even teaching it in school?
No, but last year we did go through it, remember?
Not
what you mean?
Public school.
No, I'm talking about we went through it, though.
I understand what you're saying.
But I don't know. I don't remember learning.
I don't think they covered it.
I remember we covered the Bill of Rights.
The Bill of Rights and the amendments.
I mean, the
first,
the 14th Amendment, the 15th Amendment. You know those, but if you go in and you look, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And so when people are intimidated by the Constitution as well, because, well, what does it matter to me? It matters. You know, they make immigrants who do want to come to stay in America, they learn this. They read it. They learn it. So they know more. They actually know more about our country than a lot of people do. And so that's why I think it's very, very important to this book. I found
make it mandatory.
Make it mandatory. I just found this little book. It's the Constitution of the United States of America and other founding documents. I found this at $5 Below. $5. Bought it. Yeah. I have another one. I have I have all of these things. We study it, we read it. This is going to sound so nerdy, but I do not care. For the 4th of July, we read the Declaration of Independence. Because why? So that you know, I think it's very important. So if the school isn't doing it, you do it. You get the tools so that your children can know what to do in the United States of America. What are their rights? Because they keep creating things that contradict what rights we already have. Yeah. And they keep adding on. And it's like, wait, this already states that this is what it is.
And they tell you you're losing rights. How can they take away rights when the Constitution is what it is?
And in order to lose something, they have to go through a whole process, and it would take years for something to be taken away from you.
I ain't talking about 4 years.
It would be like years. So they are lying. They are fear mongering. And I'm not just going to say that it's the liberals or it's the Democrats, because there are Republicans who are doing it as well. Oh, yeah. People are not being truthful. And it's because it's an agenda, period. That's what it is. And read y'all's Constitution for yourself. But understand that what President Trump is doing is not about the Constitution. We're not going to war. Until we see otherwise, and then we'll be on here saying, hey, we're going to war.
We're going to war.
But as of right now, there is no war.
It's a conflict resolved.
There is no war.
That's what that was. Sit down somewhere before we had to take more serious precautions. That's what that was. But my boy Al Green.
Not the singer.
Not the singer. What is he? Is he a reverend?
Representative Al Green.
Representative Al Green, whatever he is, he old. But he went to Congress and he formally filed for the impeachment of Donald Trump. We'll watch to see what he has to say. We're only gonna watch a few seconds of this because this boy said for about 15 minutes, this boy says the same thing over and over. And I don't understand. First off, he say, we the people. Let's just listen to what he say. This boy here tripping.
I rise today because our country is nearing a moment of decision.
Oh, look, let me rewind it. Because he says,
Ooh, that
Mr.
podium.
Speaker, and still I rise.
that's what I'm talking about.
And I rise.
That boy come on there talking about still I rise.
He did Maya Angelou. Stop.
This boy went,
He did Maya Angelou.
he went in front of these people and said, still I rise.
Yo, the black struggle.
The black struggle. He bliggity black.
That's crazy. Anyway.
Anyway.
Rise today in the name of government of the people, by the people, for the people.
Yes, sir.
I rise today because our country is nearing a moment of decision.
Hold on.
I
Our
rise
country
because
is arriving to a moment of decision. The country is always making decisions.
The next decision we need to make is getting your behind.
Well, the people vote
out
him
of
in.
Congress.
So if the people continue to see that
Where
he
in Texas
is,
do he represent? Like third ward or something?
that's not third ward. I don't know which district, but
He in Houston.
he's
though.
in Houston, and people have continued to vote for him, just like they were voting
That
for.
boy, Maxine Waters.
Yeah,
Lord have mercy.
yeah, but
All right,
it's for years.
Let's see what this boy.
because we are at the intersection of democracy and autocracy. I rise to announce
Democracy and autocracy.
that at this moment in time, I have filed HRES 537. HRES 537 is a privileged resolution. HRES 537 has been filed because I believe that the President of the United States has committed an impeachable act. HRES 57 addresses abuse of presidential powers by disregarding the separation of powers, devolving American democracy into an authoritarian government, usurping congressional.
When you say something three times, it's supposed to make a person.
Feel some type
Oh
of way.
yeah.
It's the same tactic that Dr. Umar does.
When you say it three times, you're
times.
supposed to think. So you're supposed to be, whoa, oh, it's fear mongering. Oh, we're an authority. It's authority
said
now.
it three
Yeah,
times.
yes, three times, and it's fear mongering. It is
He more over the boogeyman.
propaganda.
He make it more over the boogeyman if you say it three times.
And it's crazy.
It's like Beetlejuice.
Hey, hold on now.
Or Candyman.
Oh, hold on now. You playing the game.
Candyman.
But that is what it is. It's a type of propaganda, and so people have been used to saying and I think it's like brainwashing too, because you sit and you believe it, but now people are being hip to it to know that that's
This some
not
trash. This ain't what it is. As we proceed,
power to declare war. Mr. Speaker, I take no delight in what I'm doing.
Can I where did they get this
declare war.
declare war? Where did that come from?
I think they all was on the phone on a conference call
I'm just asking
because they all saying the same thing.
Same exact thing. Where is it? Where? Because I'm sure if President Trump said that, then we would have clips of it everywhere.
Yeah. It'd be memed and everything.
So where did they get
Declared
that?
war.
Is
from.
it because of the action of the airstrike?
I think it's because of the actor of the airstrike.
Man, this is crazy.
Foolishness. As we proceed.
I do this because I love my country. I do this because I understand that the Constitution is going to be meaningful or it will be meaningless. I do it because I understand that the President of the United States of America has a duty to consult Congress before taking this country to war. I do it because no one person should have the power to take over 300 million people to war without consulting with the Congress of the United States of America.
So I wonder, I wonder if we go to war.
Everybody in America.
Are you going? No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. If all of a sudden we do have to go to war, will you approve it or not? Because that's the vibe I'm getting. Like, if it doesn't come through y'all will be like, no.
At the end of the day, if war is going to happen, it's going to happen.
I understand. But they're giving this vibe. I know that I'm just.
They're going to vote. They're going to vote not to go to war.
They're giving this vibe like, if it comes to it, nope.
We ain't
doing it. We're not going to send our military there. Like,
I don't understand. Y'all, there's a disconnect here because he said he's sending 300 million people to war, which insinuates that he's sending every American
all the kids
to war.
The babies.
We have to be real. Stop using these fake numbers and these fake statistics to make people think it's bigger than what it is. The military goes to war.
Yes, you don't.
You as a civilian, you as a politician, do not go to war.
And we have to understand that they are putting their lives on the line for us to be safe. And nobody's saying that.
When you go on TV and say 300 million people are going to war, that is discounting the fact that you have actual people who are losing their lives daily to protect us. So you can go on here and say this foolishness on a regular basis. None of y'all would be able to say the things that y'all say. Y'all wouldn't be all for Iran if we were ran like Iran.
Because our freedom, we are free because of what the military does for us. And people aren't saying that the military is very, very crucial in the United States. From World War I, World War II, the war in Iraq, all of those things were very, very crucial in our safety. I didn't even witness it, but so many people lost their lives with 9/11, right?
So my daddy was in Afghanistan. He was there as in the military, and he was also there as a civilian doing because he had a company, IT company or whatever. He was saying in one of the bases, no bull jive, doggone rocket came in and didn't explode but landed in their barracks. They looking at the rocket. And you want to talk about we all going to war. We ain't never experienced no mess like that. We hear all the time how people going through PTSD and they hear a little snap, crackle, or pop, and they all over the place. So
because war is not normal. This type of stuff is not normal. It's not normal for a human to go through that. But there are people every day who are signing up and saying, I will put my life on the line for this country.
I love this country enough to die for it. And half of you people online are not even willing to die for the things that you're saying. We just go on here and we can say it because we behind whatever we behind on typing whatever. And we feel like, okay, we can do that. But
I'm not even going to act like I wanted to. That's not something that I was ever.
Be on here high capping.
That's not something
like
that
big bad and bold.
No. That's why you give props to all veterans and stuff.
Exactly.
Because
thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service because you
half of us wouldn't know how the balls to get out there and do it.
Man, oh my goodness.
I can't imagine losing my doggone leg to a doggone bomb.
And then come back and still face life. You gotta
keep it moving. You gotta keep it pushing.
That's commendable. And you have people who are saying
fake behind
who are discounting what the United States is. It doesn't love you. It doesn't do this for you.
I'm doing this for my country.
You fly,
but at the same time, I stand with Iran.
You fly other flags. Like I said before,
burn eyes.
You pledge allegiance to something else besides the United States, and you say, "Well, it's not good, man. Yes, it is. Yes,
go somewhere else.
It is."
But they're not.
We keep saying that they're not going to go anywhere else because in reality, behind closed doors, in private, They know
They know
that the United States is home, that if they went somewhere else, that it would not be good. They know, but it's propaganda once again. Anybody has this device, anybody can make a video and you can say whatever it is that you want to say
about whoever,
whether it is true, whether it is false. And a lot of people, and half the time you're saying something that is false, and then you have a million people saying, yeah, you're right. But you won't face the truth. You wouldn't do what a lot of these people are out here doing to keep the United States safe.
If we had to face people directly anytime we had a conflict, half of y'all wouldn't even show up. Y'all be at the house. Let's be real.
Crazy.
And we said how we got here is doggone Mr. Al Green,
Representative,
who's 99 years old, talking about we 300 million people going to war. No, bro, we not. You ain't.
And the guys who just went to do the airstrikes, like, do y'all understand like how grateful we should be that they made it home alive, that they went on a mission
in the middle
of the night
with no moon.
They came back. He did say no moon. And they came back safely. They were able to touch home again, to touch ground. And you have people like Representative Al Green, and you have people like Jasmine Crockett who are crying about President Trump, but you will not say, hey, good job, guys, good job.
Them boys went over there, dropped bombs, and made it back to the highs before we even knew it. Matter of fact, if Donald Trump wouldn't have said it, we probably still wouldn't know it.
Y'all got some heart issues.
Straight up. But we're gonna listen to more of this Mr. Al Green, because he's a pretty funny guy. Matter of fact, before we do that, if you value things like family, faith, education, make sure y'all tap in with us. We just dropped our subscriptions. You can check that out. We got 3 levels. Kinfolk, Fam Bam, and Official Family.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all check that out. We are starting a community of people. Like I say, our values are family, faith, education, truth, the Bible, God, Jesus. You feel me? So if those are your values, come join the community. We would love to have you. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump back into Mr. Funny Guy, Al Green.
I do this because if I do not, this authoritarian president that we currently have will continue to assume power. He has already instigated an assault on the citadel of democracy, the capital of the United States of America. He went so far as to pardon the persons who were actually involved in the assault. He has denied persons due process of the law. I believe that if we do not take immediate action, this authoritarian president will not only devolve the country into authoritarianism, I believe he is a would-be dictator who would become a dictator. So
I be trying not to laugh at people.
Do he be writing this stuff down?
I be trying not to laugh at people. That was funny.
He a would-be dictator. That would be a dictator. Yeah, I said that. Dictator. Gotta say it 3 times. Dictator.
I today announce that later today, I will bring these articles of impeachment.
Wait, you stop. I don't see you stopping it.
To the floor, and I will call for a vote. I believe that the hour of decision is upon us, and we all have to decide. Are we going to go down and choose the path of democracy, or we allow ourselves to choose the low road of autocracy? I believe that this country has come too far to allow a single person to declare war without conferring with the Congress of the United States of America. This is where I stand. This is what I will do, and I do it in the name of my country that I love dearly. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Man, that boy, they're tripping. I don't know what he talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no
idea.
clue what my guy here is talking about.
Want to impeach? You want to get Trump out of there because he's too powerful.
He's a wannabe dictator who would be a dictator.
He's too powerful.
What did he dictate? Has he dictated anything?
See, with a dictatorship, here's how I take it. He would have just made the decision on his own to say, "Hey, we're going to go ahead and do this." He was in the Situation Room. He had people around him who know the Constitution, who know, what he can do and what he can't do. And he did not go against I just have to say, this is propaganda.
Straight up.
It's propaganda.
I don't know why we listening to these people. Why?
This is propaganda, and propaganda makes you feel a type of way about a person. Mm-hmm. The world hates Trump, and I'm very careful when I say this because Trump is not a prophet, none of that mess. But the Lord is using him, and the Lord is using President Trump to show us the type of people that are that are running the world.
Things are being revealed.
You see it. So,
and it's a lot of the people on the home team who call themselves U.S. citizens.
Like this, there is a lot that is being. People are saying, of course we do have freedom of speech. You can say what you like, but it does make you. It makes me say, really.
That's how you feel.
Interesting, because what you're saying, forget Trump at this moment. What you're saying goes against the United States of America, period, and why it was built. And then I was talking to our oldest today, and she said, "Mommy, people don't know American history." No, they don't. She said, "Well, if they know why," I said, "I know, but I don't know." A 12-year-old. I don't know. I can't explain why these people
choose not to.
Are spewing these things. I have no idea. I have no clue.
We're going to jump into Miss AOC and see what she has to say. Because
this is all new to me. I avoid these people. I avoid
these
them.
These are crash out people.
I avoid because
these people are some real life crash outs.
I avoid.
Real talk. It's going to switch it.
Brought the United States.
Okay.
What's this unilateral? Why do you keep saying that?
Okay. Let us go. I'll explain.
These buzzwords are killing me. Smalls.
Congressional approval is a very grave public admission. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional. And so, for me, while the president is posting something about a ceasefire, I think what he also posted was an official acknowledgement that this was war. And I think that...
So, what declares an official announcement of war? Doesn't that mean we had war?
He has to get the vote from Congress.
But I'm saying... She said that he declared it already.
And he didn't declare war.
On Twitter or whatever he did.
It was an airstrike. It wasn't that these, how many people?
Okay. There are no, I think when I think of war, I think I'm sending troops over there to touch down on the ground. Not I'm flying over your stuff and dropping bombs. That's not war.
No. That's you.
War is
that is boots on the ground.
We at it. That's war.
Boots on the ground. And the lady that I was talking about this said she was in the military. She said, we would know before.
We would know we going to war because they're going to tell us we finna go to war.
We would be prepping beforehand.
Unilaterally.
That is they're trying to make it seem like he is just this individual moving by himself on his own.
Yeah.
That he's not taking in other people's opinions. That the cabinet's not working.
His boy waking up one morning and he woke up the morning before and was like, "I'm finna go bomb these fools." So
he has advisors. He has advisors.
He has to go through the chain. You can't. Did he call the pilots himself and tell them, say, it's time to go bomb them? No. There are lieutenants. There's a whole branch of people. There's a whole lineage of people that you have to consult before you bust a move like that.
You and I know this. We're regular civilian.
I know these people know this.
They know it. Once again, propaganda.
They too smart for their own doggone goods. What?
Right there.
This?
Yeah.
What is that?
Bada Bing USN 97 makes me sick. I can't. Makes me sick to listen to AOC. She is atrocious.
Man, that woman there is something else. But we're gonna listen to a little bit more of her.
Is something that should be taken into very serious consideration.
There are a lot of Democrats who are throwing cold water on the idea that the president deserves to be impeached over this and saying that you shouldn't be throwing around impeachment given it's such a grave, serious matter. What do you say to that?
I mean, of course, everyone can have their differences of opinion regarding that matter. A resolution has not been filed, and not filed in a privileged sense. I believe that a president bombing and bringing this country into direct conflict with another nation state without notifying, full notification of Congress, without congressional approval, endangering service members, U.S. military bases, not providing intelligence.
No one was in danger. They were in planes.
The people who needed to know,
they knew. Because they had to execute.
No, because it wasn't
your business.
Because if y'all would have known, y'all would have blabbed it and messed up the mission.
Just like you're doing right now.
What are y'all talking about?
You'd have been on Twitter. You'd have been on the news.
Y'all talk too much.
Y'all talk too much. That's why he don't tell y'all.
That's why y'all not in the cabinet.
y'all like the children at the children's table. Y'all go sit over there.
Your mama tell you, hey, when we go outside, you don't say nothing.
When grown folk talking, you shut up.
Don't say anything.
Go over there.
Yeah, that's
go talk to your peers.
That is what is happening. They feel like they just need to be included in everything. This wasn't a you situation. That's not what this was.
Is reckless. I think that, and we know that this is not a left or right issue. An overwhelming amount of Americans are opposed to the United States being dragged into war. And if we want to talk about serious decisions, I think the serious decision of entering the United States into direct conflict without any legal approval, unconstitutionally, is the grave decision that we need to be talking about right now.
Thank you so much. We have to go.
You're right. I think they all do have a group chat, and then they
learn. They are all on a doggone chat,
and then they learn the script.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you for being here. Bada Bing USN 97. We appreciate you being here. Thank you. But yeah.
Peter. Hey, Peter. They're just mad that the mission was a success. That's the crazy thing.
Matter of fact,
that's the crazy thing.
I'm going to show a tweet. I'm going to share our screen in the tweet that Donald Trump put out. He was like, they're mad because the U.S. is doing so much winning. The Democrats, they don't know.
But I don't understand how then you should. Well, once again, it's just because of Trump. It's
solely.
But man, okay, forget that. Let's think about just the United States of America, period, and our safety, period. Let's think of our freedom, period. Look, if you doing a good job, forget how I feel about you. If you doing a good job, thank you for keeping me safe. It
don't matter how I feel.
Thank you.
It's straight up. We at you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So.
But let me see if I can find this tweet real quick. I got it.
these people are going and spewing nonsense, and then you make people believe that, oh my goodness, we just have to be scared. And you also scare children, right? You also have this idea of, well, we're going to war, and people don't know how to make you feel safe. I read that. I did read that.
All right. You want to read it?
All right. What did President Trump say? Stupid. Oh, okay. Stupid. Where'd you go?
Oh, hold up. My fault. Hold on. Let me go back. There you go.
Stupid AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, one of the dumbest people in Congress, is now calling for my impeachment, despite the fact that the crooked and corrupt Democrats have already done that twice before. The reason for her rantings is all the victories that the USA has had under the Trump administration. The Democrats aren't used to winning, and she can't stand the concept of our country being successful again. When we examine her test scores, we will find out that she is not qualified for office, but nevertheless far more qualified than Crockett. Yikes. Who is seriously low IQ individual. Or, I do not know how to pronounce her name, but Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country. Yet the failed country that she comes from doesn't have a government, is drenched in crime and poverty, and is rated one of the worst in the world, if it's even rated at all. How dare the mouse tell us how to run the United States of America? We're just now coming back from that radical left experiment with Sleepy Joe, Kamala, and the auto pen in charge. What a disaster it was. AOC should be forced to take the cognitive test that I just completed at Walter Reed Medical Center as part of my physical. They all should, actually. As the doctor in charge said, President Trump aced it, meaning I got every answer right. Instead of her constant complaining, Alexandria should go back home to Queens, where I was also brought up, and straighten out her filthy, disgusting, crime-ridden streets in the district she represents, and which she never goes to anymore. She better start worrying about her own primary before she thinks about beating our great Palestinian senator, crying Chuck Schumer, whose career is definitely on very thin ice. She and her Democrat friends have just hit the lowest poll numbers in congressional history. So go ahead and try impeaching me again. Make my day.
That boy out here.
Oh my goodness
that
gracious.
Boy is cold-blooded.
Oh my word.
That boy cold-blooded out here. He ain't playing no games.
My goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, I think they all should take some type of cognitive test, because they show that they're showing like they're not competent. Like, and they then, don't understand.
I said before, all these old people, like doggone Maxine Waters and Reverend Al Green.
I'm calling he's not Reverend. Because the singer is Reverend Al Green. He became a reverend, yes. Okay. So that's why.
I'm sorry.
But no
disrespect.
Don't.
No disrespect. Yeah.
No, this is ridiculous. I have no clue. I don't know.
But Byron Donalds, I think that's Byron Donalds. Yeah. He was asked about, because AOC is fear-mongering people into believing that there's a divide amongst people who are behind Trump voters. So he was asked that, and let's see what he got to say.
Okay.
In the Republican Party after the strike on Iran. President Trump is saying there is great unity in the Republican Party after the strike on Iran. Florida Congressman Byron Donalds joins me now. Congressman, is there any kind of split? We've heard talk of this, that there's a split inside the MAGA movement. Is there a split?
I mean, look, you have some members of the movement who are not happy. But let's just be realistic about where we are. We could not let Iran get a nuclear device. They were enriching uranium upwards of 60% and higher. That is a fact. And then the last piece is that there was a strategic opportunity to eliminate their enrichment facilities, and we did that. We obliterated them. And so at the end of the day, you have a terrorist regime in Iran. They have killed American troops. They have fomented terror through the Middle East and around the globe. We have been trying to negotiate in good faith. President Trump tried to negotiate in good faith. But the Iranians were doing what they've been doing really for the last 25 years. And so at this point, we weren't going to follow the lead of Barack Obama or Joe Biden. We were really going to do something serious about this. The opportunity presented itself, and the president of the United States made the correct decision in obliterating those nuclear facilities.
AOC is calling for Trump to be impeached. That's really highly unlikely, isn't it, Colson?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, again, with her. So stupid, so ridiculous. All this is just, trying to say something to get on TV or have a soundbite that gets carried in media. The Democrats didn't say anything when Barack Obama launched airstrikes against Libya. When Barack Obama launched airstrikes against Syria, they did nothing. They were quiet. They cheered them on, so on and so forth. The president of the United States does have constitutional authority for strikes when it comes to military force. That's why they're the commander in chief. And so a lot of colleagues on Capitol Hill, they're talking about the War Powers Act, but
he runs the military.
Duh. That's it.
He's the head of the military.
That's
the people that he called on to go strike.
It's in the Constitution.
Interesting.
War Powers Act is something that's been litigated in court time and time again, and it does not obstruct a president of the United States from using military assets when they are in the key national interest. And I will add, one of the things that is crystal clear is that the Iranians were trying to actually create nuclear weapons. There's a reason why they have a ballistic weapon system, ballistic missiles weapon systems. There's a reason why they were trying to create ICBMs. And that was simply not to just have things they can light off as fireworks in the sky above the skies of Tehran. They wanted it to be able to flex their power in that region and around the globe. And since they are a terror factory, that is a fact, we simply could not let that happen.
One more for you, Congressman. The deadline, as you know, for the big, beautiful bill coming up, it's July the 4th. Does the Iran strike?
That's enough of that. But, yeah. Another thing I do want to mention is a lot of people are talking about, I think it was Tucker Carlson who mentioned that we're obligated to defend Israel because of the Bible or something like that.
That was not Tucker.
That was somebody.
Ted
Cruz.
I ain't mad at Ted. I'm gonna be honest, because a lot of people think that that the Bible, that Israel is the Israel of the Bible, which it is not. But that's not why you protect, because people, how do I want to say this? Because you see a lot of people are like, well, you're Tucker Carlson was like, you're protecting them because of the Bible and this, and Ted Cruz was like, well, yes, I read this in Sunday school. I read this, and I will repeat, from what I read, the Israel of the Bible is not the Israel today, because, and I'm gonna stick with this. When God talks about Israel, he's not talking about land. He's not talking about physical land.
It wasn't even, it didn't exist.
It was Jerusalem. So there was land, but he took them from it. But Israel is the people. Israel is the nation. The nation is the people. It wasn't physical land. So the physical land that Israel has today, I had got my years wrong. It came in 1948 because of the conflict. Where would the Jews go? Yeah. Well, Israel, this physical land that we have now. Do we disrespect the Jews who are saying that they are Jews today? No. Why? Because we do not know if they are the chosen people or if they are not. So when people spew that, I'm like, y'all need to chill, because we honestly do not know.
Y'all don't know who is who.
We don't know.
People have been dispersed all over the world.
And that's the Israelites were dispersed. They were put in different places. So we do not know.
And just because you black, it doesn't make you a Hebrew Israelite.
And so one of my arguments is, because people are like, that's not this and that's not that. Look here. God Jesus, when he instructs us, they said, well, which is the commandment? What's the greatest commandment? To love one another. We have been instructed to love. And there is so much hate being spewed out today that I'm looking like y'all are not believers. You are not filled with Jesus, okay? That Holy Spirit is not activated because you are on some other type of, I don't know.
Half the time they be talking, you can see the devil in the words that are coming out of their mouth. They call you everything. They don't want you to succeed.
And another thing that has been just, we watch those people. We watch those people who represent America, right? And none of them have the basis of God. None of them believe either that the United States of America was founded on the basis of God. That the Bill of Rights, the 10 commandments, right? That the Constitution, like that's the Mosaic law. Like if we look at it, if we read our Bibles to understand that the founding fathers took
everything that we consider a crime.
Like, what are we saying? Like, this is okay and that is okay. Yeah. And there are rules and there are laws for a reason. Yes, we have freedom of speech. Yes. But are you using your tongue to slash people just because they're different from you, because they don't believe in what you believe in? Then that's the part where Jesus is like, hey, tell them about me. Yeah. Hey, tell them the good news, the gospel. He died on the cross to save all of us. He just didn't die for us. He just didn't die for me. And then, well, I'm a believer and you put yourself up here. He died for everything, for all of us, because he created us all. Now, there are people who are going to choose him and there are people who are not. And the people who are not, well, we will all be judged.
Absolutely.
And so when you start going against the creation of what he created, there's a problem. There's a huge problem. And the problem right now that I believe, people don't believe in God. And you don't read your Bibles. I'm not talking about our watches, and people don't believe in God, and you don't read your Bible to gain understanding, to gain wisdom, and to gain knowledge about what he wants from us. You sit in that sin and you won't say, hey.
The very documents, the very books that we quote the most are the ones we read the less. The least. My fault. Goodness gracious. I sound crazy over here. But anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. The one that, like the Constitution, the Bible, all of these things that actually matter, we are not reading, but we'll read a devotional. We'll read a doggone magazine or something.
And that's what it is. And prayer was taken out of the schools in the early 1960s. And you have a lot of people who are saying, well, we don't need prayer. And then you see, if you look at numbers and how people acted, people went to church, people were, kids were respectful. Like all of that is gone. They respected the country. They stood and the flag was flying. You respected it. Like you sang the Star Spangled Banner. You had pride in your country. And you look today and people holding up the Mexican flag.
You got people holding up, right? Pledge of Allegiance.
But at one point I was a part of that propaganda, because at one point I was like, hey, I'm Black. This country doesn't care about me. It hates me. I'm not going to stand for this pledge of allegiance.
I used to have this partner I worked with. That boy used to always be like, the white man got his foot on my neck, my back. I'd be like, no, nobody thinking about you. He got my foot on my neck.
And then you come to realize when you begin to read, so I like to read books that come from like the 1800s, the 1900s. I like to read that history because, once again, our oldest was like, hey, that history is closest to kind of when it was happening. Like it is, right? So I like to read that because it gives you an idea of just what was happening. Now, if you read it, it's watered down. It doesn't tell the truth, or it tells one side.
They give you that Chat GPT version.
You know, this is it's ridiculous. I have come to a place where I'm proud to be an American. Where at least
I know I'm free.
Right? Seriously. And it didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of reading, but it took a lot of seeing too that this isn't bad.
Just telling on ourselves. I went back to some of our old videos.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And we were talking that bullshit.
I know we were.
We was on that bullshit. We thought the world hated us. We thought white people was against us. I was like, man, this some bull jive here.
So when you see these people, you do see growth, but when you see those people and they are spewing this nonsense, that's why I'm like, thank you, Lord, for me to have a microphone to at least reach one person to say, no, what they're doing. No
matter how much y'all try to talk down on us, call us everything in the book, we gonna still show up. Because we got people like Peter. We got people like Baba Bling, Bada Bling, Bada Boom.
Bada Bing said
Bada Bling.
She grew up in the 80s. It was a different America. I miss it.
Say, I even take the 90s. I'll take that. I grew up born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. I'll take that.
Well, dang.
These 2010-ish and 20 years, man, say.
I ain't gonna say. That was funny.
She didn't say.
I was born in 90, okay?
Ooh, you came up in the 2000s.
I came up in the 2000s when things was getting a little rough.
A little saucy.
A little like, wait, everything, you can be whatever you want to be.
And we ain't talking about no occupation.
You have to share, okay? I know your mama bought it for you, but we're going to share. Is that what you feel like?
Yeah.
You feel like doing that today? Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
I served in the Navy most of the 90s. Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Man.
Yes, indeed. We appreciate everything you do. These people out here acting like they don't know that y'all out here sacrificing y'all lives for our lives. We wake up in the morning, go outside, ain't no bombs dropping, ain't no missiles going across your face. People ain't shooting at you all the time. Now, mind you.
Not that type, but not war shooting.
Yeah.
But they're shooting.
There is shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you free.
Yeah.
For the most part, you can say whatever you want to about whoever you want to, whenever you want to, and you don't got to worry about somebody putting you away in somewhere where they forget about you.
Yeah.
So we need to come back to reality. And reality is Donald Trump did not declare war.
No.
300 million people are not going to war. Even if it was war, 300 million people weren't going, or still ain't going to war. If that was the case, nobody would want, if we had 300 million people in our military, nobody would want to see us. They don't want to see us now. But anyway, yeah, let's come back to reality.
And I think that's what President Trump is trying to do. He's trying to, those last 4 years, there was a period of like zombies. What's happening? I don't know what's going on. Like it was a period of that. And so now you're seeing the liveliness of America again. I think it's peekaboo. Hey, we're still here. We're still the greatest, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that is what Trump is trying to do. And I believe that we Americans need to help him do that because he is working for us. He's working for the good. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And yeah. Y'all talking crazy out here. Y'all need to stop all that crazy talk. Because y'all got people who believe y'all. And then they out here looking crazy.
Yeah.
And y'all got a bunch of crazy people. Ain't nobody read up on nothing. Ain't nobody did no research, but everybody saying the same thing. Unilaterally. Crazy.
Yeah.
But I think we done touched all bases. Let's get into these comments.
I was already into them. I was having
we're going to read this one. Bada bling.
Stop. It's bada bing.
I'm sorry. I'm not messing it up on purpose.
I know.
I'm sorry. But found you by accident, and I'm loving what I'm hearing so far. I'm proud of our military, and I'm proud to have President Trump. Absolutely. Right now, I can't think of anybody else who would be doing a better job. Can you? Tell us in the comments. But we got Peter. Shout out to Peter once again. They just mad that the mission was successful or success. That's the crazy thing. We already know. Then the people they don't think logically. It's all emotion, and you can tell when they go on there with their face all puffed up, dog, look like they just woke up. They emotional, and they just be talking, and they say the same thing over and over, like my boy Al Green. That boy keeps saying the same thing. Yeah, but I think we touched everyone. That's it. I'm Italian.
Bada bing,
bada bing, bada boom. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kept thinking about when I saw it. Bada bing, bada boom. Forget about it. Say, hit that join button. Make sure you check out that join button. We want you on a part of our community. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yay.
Yes, indeed. We sure appreciate everyone who showed up for us. Like we always say, we're going to continue to show up for y'all.
Ooh,
no matter what.
Imagine if Harris was the president.
No, don't do that. No, we don't need nobody needed that. Nobody in life needed that. We would be in trouble.
I think we would really be at war.
Straight up.
Then the Congress would be like, hold on, join the war. You know? Yeah.
But
and she's starting to hit the light.
We sure appreciate that. Thank you very much. But I think we done covered everything.
I can't imagine it. Don't put that in my eyeball.
Man, hey.
Oh no.
That makes make my skin crawl just thinking about that. But we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Thank you once again. And like always, it is love, peace, and soul.
Bye. Thanks
like
for
Soul
watching.
Train, baby.